Finance Committee meeting for the Gary Common Council. For, what is today's date?
The 12th.
Or, yes. Okay, now on the agenda is only one item, CPO 2020-25, which is an ordinance revising 2020 appropriations for the redevelopment department operating budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2020 and ending December 31, 2020. So we are ready. Ms. Colvin, are you doing this one, or
Well, I'm
who's doing it?
together, I and AJ Bittner, who should be on as well. I think I found him.
On. Okay. We're
I'm
ready.
here.
You say you're ready?
I'm sorry. Present this evening is our acting president, Mr. William Godwin, Linda Barnes Caldwell from the 5th District, our council attorney, AJ from redevelopment, Ty Atkins from the 4th District, Ron Brewer, our councilman at large, and attorney Gloria Slay, councilman at large. So
Councilman Weatherspoon as well.
One ordinance. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. CPO 2020-25 is an ordinance making adjustments in the redevelopment 101-801 budget. The adjustments are to create, to eliminate 2 positions and to create a new project manager position. To get into the particulars of what that particular position will be doing, I will let AJ Bittner describe what's going to be happening in the department. AJ.
Thank you, Arlene, and thanks, Council, for letting me join. Can everybody hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't quite hear you, but go ahead.
Someone has some background noise,
Yeah.
like a TV or radio or something.
Okay.
That may be me. I think I got the TV on.
Oh, that's Attorney Lake.
Okay. Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. I'll let Councilman Lay get back before I start.
Okay.
Let me just ask a question real quick before you start. And maybe this will at least save me some time. I'd like to see the job descriptions of the people you're combining, as well as the new job description, as well as the education and experience required for this new job.
I agree with Attorney Lay. However, Councilman Lay, however, we need to let them go through this first and tell them.
I'm going to let them do, but at the end, if I may have to leave for a reason, but I would like to get copies of that.
Okay, let them tell us.
You're right.
Let them tell us what they're doing.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready. Tell us what you're doing.
Sure, and Councilman Lay, I can work with the HR department to get that sent over to you guys. But in short, what this position is being done is to create
Is to do what?
Sorry, to eliminate 2 positions which are primarily administrative in nature and create a position with the balance of those 2 position salaries for a project manager, for someone who can handle
Wait.
Jackie Harris, you need to go on mute. We can hear your background.
Okay.
She hasn't went on mute yet. Jackie Harris?
That may have been the noise too.
No, that was you.
Okay.
You good.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay. And combine it into a single position, project manager position. One of the first things I noticed last year when I took the position, that with the amount of grant administration, both for not-for-profits as well as with NDOT and IDEM and EPA and RDA, there's a tremendous amount of just kind of background work that needs to be completed of someone who has appropriate kind of skills and education in order, and not to mention experience with working those outside partners in order to ensure that we're in compliance with most of their requirements, as well as managing the various kind of real estate transactions that we have with the city, both in the form of RFP and being able to review legal documents and deeds and things of that nature. Whereas previously it was done primarily by the executive director as well as the deputy director, but with the amount of workload and kind of what I'll say is interior work as well as exterior work with partners and people of those nature, in order to kind of be responsive in a more timely fashion, we need someone with the skill set that is more kind of conducive to the 21st century kind of technology as well as kind of workflow and processes. So in working with the mayor's office and kind of figuring out how we can do that, the proposal that I came up with was eliminating those two positions in order to create this project manager so that we can be both a good partner to our funding agencies as well as folks within the community.
I have a question. Where are you? What are you doing with these two people that you're eliminating? Where are they going?
One of the positions is currently not filled. The other position is being eliminated, and I've been working with the HR department to see if there's other open administrative positions in other departments, as well as if there's any openings with Work One.
So is that person going to be laid off?
If they're unable to find a position with the city, yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Councilman Brown.
Yes.
So my question is, what is the roles of the current person that you have in place now?
Right.
I know you're phasing them out. Your plan is to phase them out, but what's their role currently at this time?
Currently, it's purely administration, answering the phones, things of that nature. We still have staff that can accomplish those goals, but as we found, as I alluded to, more of kind of a modern needs. So much more work is done via email and electronically, and we're also working on ways to modernize ways for people to access property records as well as what properties are available through the website and through software as a service, whereas that role was more kind of paper intensive in the past, and since we're moving into more of a digital type of format, we need someone who has the bandwidth and capacity to really kind of work through these projects, and someone who's getting paid $28,000 a year just doesn't have the, typically the skills or experience or education in order to accomplish these tasks and get them done in a timely fashion.
And I will add to what AJ is saying, and that it's our intention to, as best as we can, accommodate a transfer of this person as opposed to a layoff. So that's what we're working on now.
Council Lady Brown.
The person who does not, okay, you said one of the positions is not filled, right? Currently, that position is not filled.
That's correct.
Right? And the person that the other person, you're looking for a position for them. Well, what about this new person? You have a position, I know you put it out for bid.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you saying that you have somebody? No.
What's that?
The person who is going to be the new project manager. You don't have that person yet.
We have a candidate in mind, yes.
Oh, really? Anybody have any questions? Any other questions?
Yes, Council Lady Brown.
Yes.
Yeah, Councilman Weatherspoon. AJ, what is the title of the position that is being eliminated?
Project coordinator. Actually, both the positions are called project coordinator or program coordinator. Sorry.
Right. We have it.
And are you through, Councilman Weatherspoon?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. All right. And so now it's project manager, and it's Deb Backus, right?
What's that?
It's Deb Backus is the person you've already hired?
That would be the person, yes.
Okay.
Who is it?
Deb Backus, she's currently a member of the Port Authority, right?
Yeah, she was on the board, correct.
Okay. Is that going to present a conflict at all? I don't know, whether being in
Uh,
the city.
we've-
The board of what? I'm sorry.
The Port Authority.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We ran that through the city's law department,
Uh-huh.
and I can get you the opinion of Attorney Pohl on that one. But as long as it does, the conflict doesn't impact any kind of pecuniary interests, he didn't believe so. But that's something that we can get you further clarification on.
Because that was part of the concern, I think, that when the Port Authority was first started, and I think at that point, Kyle Allen and Ron and another member of the council was going to be on the Port Authority, but it was determined that because theoretically, right, the Port Authority has the power of compensation, that they couldn't serve. So I ended up serving on the Port Authority and others prior to being on the council. So I'd be interested in reviewing that opinion since I thought it was a conflict, but now it appears that it may not be.
Right. And I know there's, obviously I'm not going to step in for any other attorneys, but I know, in the past, sometimes it's the conflict with being an elected official versus being an employee.
Mhm.
But I certainly can have, Attorney Pohl forward that opinion on, because that was one of the things that was asked before she came on board, as far as she's very active within the community as far as nonprofit participation and things of that nature, and wanted to make sure that there wasn't any kind of conflict, inherent conflicts of interest.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that we have looked into.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
You need to receive.
that that conflict, in fact, did speak directly to elected officials that limited Councilman Brewer and Commissioner
Alan.
Allen, and it's not limited only to compensation. That was an error in thought back then. The statute also speaks about the ability to have bonding authority, and there are several other reasons. But that conflict does not stem to non-elected officials. Her only conflict that I can imagine would arise on a case-by-case basis if, due to her community involvement, a group in which she has a substantial relationship were petitioning the Port Authority for some type of benefit. At that point, she would have a conflict that could simply be waived by her recusing herself on that vote. So I haven't seen the opinion of Attorney Pohl, but I don't know of any conflict that would bar the individual.
I'm sorry, I had to leave, Madam Chairman. Who is the person is being discussed?
Deb Backus.
Who is that?
Deb Backus.
And that person's an attorney?
No.
Well, he mentioned two things. You have to be an attorney to do that. He said review legal documents and also deeds. That's practicing law.
No.
Yes, it is. You may say no, but to review legal documents, you can review them for yourself. You cannot review them for other people. So in that case, and giving an opinion, if you're not a lawyer, you certainly can't do that. This person is looking at documents for the city. We got in that same debate as to who could draw up ordinances and who could draw up resolutions. We've had them drawn up by the council, the one that staff, the one that I corrected at the last meeting that Mr. Brewer and Mr. Godwin wanted to chastise me on, that we moved on all three readings. No, you have to be an attorney to do that. That gets back to my initial question. In other words, I'd like to see the job description. I would assume if you're advertising this, or maybe you're not at this point. And what is the difference between the educational requirements for this job? What's the educational requirement and experience for this new project director?
Councilman,
It's in this job description.
yes, a job description was forwarded to you.
Yes, we have that.
I don't have the job description. I therefore have to apologize. All I have is the ordinance.
Okay, yeah, we have that.
Okay, I don't have nothing but the ordinance.
And I sent you something else today, Councilman. I sent you something else this evening too. I just resent it again, so it may be in your email.
Okay, so what is this something else you sent me?
This evening, I just resent the ordinance, the salary budget that was attached, as well as the job description. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, okay. It's possible my legislative aide has, and she just passed on to me.
Okay.
Because of the way we communicate, she just handed me the ordinance itself.
Okay.
All righty.
Okay. Does anyone else have questions?
I do, Councilwoman
Okay.
Brown. So I just had some clarification questions. So AJ, for one, in the ordinance, it speaks to Form 1. So is Form 1 the supplemental document that was attached that has the budget line items on it?
If I had dual screens right now, I could take a look what you're referring to. What do you mean by Form 1?
Are you referring, Councilwoman, to the ordinance itself?
Correct. In the ordinance itself, I think the last section, it just states that included was information related to what was stated on Form 1. And so I just wanted
Form 1 is the salary budget and the operating budget.
Okay, great. Just wanted to confirm that.
Yeah.
And then also on the supplemental document that you did provide to us, what has the line items for the budget. For those two roles, the program coordinator roles, it says that it was eliminated in February of 2020. So am I reading that correct, that both of those positions were eliminated in February on the 24th?
This is the version of the ordinance that you were sent, and it was dated 2020. I was trying to say it so I wouldn't say it wrong.
Okay,
so it's just an ordinance version. The position still exists.
Okay, so the line that's highlighted on line 19 and 22, and after both
those positions are still in place.
Okay, so the eliminated 2024 has nothing to do with them being intact.
It's the version of the ordinance when the ordinance was actually prepared, and I guess it's internal. It shouldn't have been on there, but we can remove that. Those positions are still in place.
Okay, and then also the ordinance is asking for approval to combine those two roles and make the project manager role, but we already have someone that's performing that function. Is that correct, AJ?
They've been, and Arlene can kind of articulate this better, they're brought in a different position and acting in that role.
There was a vacant position that did not pay what this position pays in another department, that we temporarily put that person in so that until this ordinance could go through the council to see whether it would be passed or not. The position that they're in now is administrative. So I hope that they'll be able to go into a project manager role the way we wanted them to.
Okay, so we're asking for approval to give this new salary, new title to someone who's already acting in the role. So I guess I was asking if we were going to actually post the role. I wasn't sure if there was any compliance requirements to post the role to the public. But if you already have someone acting, it seems as though we're basically asking for approval to do something that's already been done, right?
Well, the council has the authority to establish budgets and establish positions. So no, we don't have a project manager. It's our hope that we'll have one.
Okay.
But what the council has is a job description. And I would imagine, and I don't know this, I would imagine this is what would have been posted. Was this job description? No, it was not posted.
I don't know if they did that in HR, but I do know this. Whenever there is a job that has a certain set of qualifications, if there are in fact individuals who have those qualifications that are known to people, they do make application to the city, and their credentials are reviewed. So it's entirely possible that a person went through the application process without it being posted in the general sense. Not that it wasn't open to anybody, but we may have been able to find, and we've done it before, find individuals who suit the qualifications for a position that we are trying to fill.
Council Lady Brown?
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
one question. AJ, the individual that you have selected for this position, are they a resident of the city of Gary?
They are. They do live in the city.
And they live in the first district, by the way, as well.
All right, great, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Madam Chair,
Yes. Linda,
Oh,
Councilwoman Caldwell. Mhm.
yes, this is just my thinking. I'm gathering my thoughts. We have two positions. One of them is not filled. We have someone working in one of them that we need to find a position for them. We have a position that we're trying to get together and give it to somebody that we've already chosen. And I don't know. Maybe you posted it, maybe you didn't. I don't know. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well,
I'm not suggesting that we posted it, Councilwoman. I'm not saying that. I'm just
sure
saying that.
I'm sure.
No,
you did.
I mean, I
It
don't want
just
you to think I
sounds
was
like-
saying it.
No, it just sounds like that you have you want to give someone a job, so therefore we're going to make arrangements so that this can pass. And my biggest concern is the person that's working right now, who you're going to take their salary and combine it with another salary to make this person have a job. I need that person to keep their employment as well. That's all. When it
You mean-
boils down, that's all what it sounds like. That's what happened.
Council Lady Brown, I'm sorry, Council Lady Brown, I have one other question also. AJ, you know, you said in the description, so far as the salary is concerned, you said up to $59,000 and some change. I mean, do you have an exact number on what this salary is? This up for negotiations between you and the prospective employee? Or, I mean, exactly where do you stand so far as salary? Because to say up to $59,000, I mean, where are we there?
well, that's typically handled by HR, to be perfectly honest. And that's, you know, it's, with municipal government, as you guys are aware, the salary is set by the ordinance itself, so it cannot exceed that. So we can't negotiate upward of that. And typically the salaries which are posted, the maximum is, you know, unless there's extenuating circumstances, issued at that value. And that is, you know, kind of what you could say is a market rate for a project or program manager in the, you know, kind of current workforce for that type of education and experience.
So are you looking to give them 59,000 or, I mean, is it
We are
negotiable?
looking to give them, Councilman, the amount that's set in the ordinance.
And to be clear,
Up to 59.
No,
No, the ordinance amount.
Councilman Witherspoon.
Go ahead, Attorney Renzo Williams.
Yeah, if you can hear me. Yeah, the ordinance dictates the salary amount. That can't be deviated at all. So this is an employee. This is not a contractual out of professional service, of which they would have the leeway to negotiate. The salary would have to be what's posted in the ordinance.
I know, and I was just trying to get an exact on what the salary, because the paperwork I have here, there's not a clear number. It says up to 59,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the job description,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, but the person will be paid whatever the ordinance amount. That's
What is,
What is the ordinance amount? I think that's the
It
question.
says the combined total of the two, which is the 59.
So it's 59,000.
It's 59,000.
Okay, well, he's been asking that for 2 minutes here, trying to get a clear answer.
Yes. Madam Chairman,
Yes.
we still have not resolved the problem. You have the job description. In that job description, does it talk about legal documents, reviewing legal documents and deeds? Well, you're shaking your head. He mentioned it in his verbal speech.
Your guy, because a clean cut is a
Are you talking to me, Attorney Lay?
Yes, I don't know. What is the gentleman's last name that's putting on the presentation?
AJ.
Bittner.
What's his last name?
Bittner.
Okay, the phone is ringing. Well, sir, I'll get your name next time we speak.
Bittner.
Bigner. I'm sorry, Mr. Bigner. In other words, during your presentation, you mentioned two things. One is to review legal documents and deeds. And that's what I'm saying. Is that contained, and I certainly apologize that I don't have the job description, but I assure you I will read it. Is that in that job description?
One of the roles will be reviewing deeds, and they're not going to be making any legal opinions or anything of that nature. We have a redevelopment commission attorney of Gilbert King. However, they will be working in an advisory position to both myself as well as the redevelopment commission attorney in reviewing those legal documents in order for, they might be as simple as clerical errors, but they will not be making any legal opinions.
Well, I think that's improper too. You can't combine non-legal people with legal people. In other words, I would suggest that the legal documents and deeds are reviewed by Mr. King, unless it's an attorney in that position reviewing it. I assure you that would be considered, or you would violate several rules. Are you an attorney?
I am not.
Okay, you would be violating several of our rules to do that. Practicing law.
Well, I think what it says here is graduation from an accredited high school or GED equivalent with experience reading legal documents, deeds. So it just says reading them. It doesn't say interpreting them.
Well,
I'm not gonna debate the point. If he's reading them, he's going to be giving someone other than himself. You can practice law for yourself. You cannot practice law for your first cousin, your husband, or your uncle. If this person, and I'm sure Mr. Godwin as well as Mr. Williams will agree, if he reads the document, he said, well, this deed is okay, and he handed it to the gentleman who's making the presentation, he just started practicing law, that's all. But no one else sees it but me. I probably will object to it, but that's fine.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I agree with Councilman Lay. Even realtors are very limited. All they can do is fill out the form. If you're not an attorney, you can't add language to something, for example.
Okay.
Or even act as though you're reading a deed for somebody because you got it by nature to read it is to do something. Right? I mean, you're not reading it in a vacuum, and I think that's the point that Councilman Lay is making.
Okay.
Well, if I may say something, Councilwoman Brown?
Yes.
All I wanted to say is that, first of all, I don't think that this position could even remotely be interpreted as one requiring a law degree and one where an individual is actually interpreting legal documents and acting as if she is or he is an attorney. I think in the normal course of things in most departments, whenever you get a situation where you have a deed or whatever, it's always referred to your department attorney or the corporation counsel or whoever represents the department. So I don't see this as being any different than that. Nobody is suggesting that this person is going to be a legal counsel to the redevelopment department. That's not the position. It's a project manager.
I agree, Ms. Colvin. I think maybe if everyone will read the job description, and as a VP of procurement, I read contracts, I even negotiate contracts, but I do not have any legal regard in terms of representing the organization as it relates to that. We always prefer to our legal counsel to give opinion, and that if you read this particular job description, it states as such. It doesn't state that this person will have any obligation of negotiating anything. It's just
responsibility,
the capability of reading the documents. So,
well, actually, law school should be a waste of time. Most people have legal opinions who've never been there, so I can live with it. I can live with it. And I didn't quite stay as long as Mr. Williams. I got out in 2.5 years, so probably missed something in that 2.5 years.
Wow.
Well,
okay.
I consider that a joke. I just
know.
I just don't know how to joke. All right, I'm going to leave the meeting. I assume you guys have concluded. I have to do something else.
We're going to miss you, Lay.
He concluded the meeting. That would be good.
Okay.
Madam
Well,
Chair,
yes.
so to the question that Councilwoman Barnes Cotwell raised, was the position made publicly available? Was it posted publicly?
As
Yes.
far as I know, Councilman Godwin, I don't believe so. But as I said, the individual made application, and this person's qualifications met the qualifications of the job description. But I don't think there was a posting as you're describing it.
Gotcha. I mean, the qualification seems de minimis, right? I mean, it doesn't require very much. But what exactly, when we say there's two other people whose positions we're combining and we're trying to find somebody something else, what does that mean? How does that work? How do you operationalize that?
Generally, what happens is if there's a person who's potentially going to be displaced, they're offered the opportunity to apply for any vacant position in another department for which they have the similar or the same qualification.
And what vacant positions exist in another department?
There are other administrative positions that are vacant.
Do you have any examples?
I'd have to get you a list or get you something from HR. I don't want to say something that's open and it's not. But there are some that I can tell you that do exist, at least one.
Ms. Colvin, is this a union position?
No,
Okay, so that it wouldn't go through the traditional bumping process, correct?
no.
All right, let me just add this, because we keep talking about it being posted. That with the collective bargaining agreements and the city policy, the public is not required to be, it's not required to be posted publicly if it can be filled in-house.
That's true.
And I'm sure, yeah, I'm aware of that. So it's if the position was filled in-house, then there was no need to publish. I don't want to leave you all with that publishing is required, even within the collecting units, that they only have to do it in-house, and if they can find someone in-house, there is no requirement to post to the general public.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
But this position was not fulfilled in-house, correct?
Yes.
No, the person who was selected was not an existing employee.
Right.
No, I'm not talking about I'm talking about the one that they combined. Wasn't
Right.
that person already there?
No.
Not, they had one person.
Yes.
You said they were already there.
No, I'm saying the project manager that has already been hired was not an existing employee.
I wasn't talking about that position. I was talking about the one that was already there, that's
The
being
one who's
merged.
being replaced.
But I'm
Right.
talking about the one that's been hired, whether that position was posted or not.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I have a question for Ms. Colvin.
Yes.
If you have some openings, why not just transfer that person to one of those openings? Do they have to go through the whole process of rehire, going through interviews and everything?
No. As long as their qualifications are similar, no. I mean, they need to talk to the department head, but to be treated as if they were like an applicant off the street, no.
I mean, so we have some positions that's vacant. We're going to take somebody's position and combine it and bring somebody off the street. So just take that person and put them somewhere else, and that would be the solution. Okay. I guess it just.
I don't know, Councilwoman, that's not what's going to happen. I mean, I'm not quite sure. But anyway.
Yes,
Well, you know,
Ms.
we just had this a few months ago when you had your budget up. It was several positions that were changed and moved around and eliminated. And actually, I do know one person was laid off for a couple of weeks before they actually got a position. So,
Right.
yeah.
And I'm aware of how that was handled. We don't want to handle that this way.
Exactly.
I agree with you on that.
Ms. Colvin,
Yes.
do you anticipate that the individual that will be laid off, do you anticipate that they will be missing any work? Or will this be kind of a smooth transition where they'll just simply go from one week to the other?
I'm
position
hoping
another
that we can find something even before this ordinance is passed. We'd like to identify something. But I can't promise that, of course, but that's our goal.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, back to my question. I just want to make sure I'm clear about it. So as it relates to the person who has been hired to fulfill this newly combined role, is it a requirement, or is it our best practice, or have we historically practiced posting available positions, non-existing, fulfilling positions with non-existing employees?
I didn't hear the last thing you said, Councilman. I'm sorry.
So if someone gets it, so if I were not on the city council and I applied for this position,
Right.
would it have needed to have been posted?
No.
It would not have needed to be posted.
No.
And do we ever post any positions?
Generally, we always post positions that are union positions because we always give other union members an opportunity to apply for new positions or open positions if they want to do that. If we are doing a search, for example, like we're doing a controller search right now, though that's posted. So I guess my answer is that it just depends on the position.
I'm sorry.
I didn't hear what you just said.
Is there a criteria? Is there a?
No, not formally, no.
So you just kind of decide as you go whether or not you want to post a non-union position?
There's in our personnel policy, it indicates that how we are to handle open positions. We've followed that, but it does allow us the opportunity if we receive applicants or applications or resumes of individuals who fit the criteria for a particular position to actually interview that person and to determine whether or not they're suitable for the job.
And I just want to say this, and I'm going to leave the issue, but I know that the person that has been selected, I was able to serve with her on the Port Authority. I know she's very talented. I think she may even have a PhD. She certainly has a master's, has been a professor, graduate level. So I have no questions about her intellectual capacity. But I do think that we should, as much as possible, even if you already know who you want to hire, I think it's good practice to at least put it out there for available jobs to give the community, to give the world, right, the opportunity to apply for it. You can select who you want, but I do think it's good practice to, certainly for government jobs. I mean, this is not a private.
Right, and typically that's what we do.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And my last thing, I would just have to agree with Councilman Godwin on what he just said in the last statement there. It definitely brings a good practice because this is not a clean look the way this is being done. This is someone that we knew who we were giving the job to, and you asked him council just to stamp this here. So it's not a clean, transparent look, not to post it. Then we say we'll post certain ones, and certain ones we're not going to post. We need a criteria how we're going to go forward, in posting the job. If it's a union position, of course, we know it should be posted. But we're saying if it's non-union, we just want to hire who we want to hire. I think we should be.
I don't think that Councilman, we don't typically just hire who we want to hire. If we receive an application or if we receive a resume of a qualified person.
Well, my thing is, how do you get to that point, receiving a resume? You have to put it out there that you have an opening for this. That's the only thing I'm getting at. I'm not saying what you all are doing is wrong. What I'm saying is you have to get to that point where you're asking for something to get.
Okay.
And the only way you can do it, I just feel that you need to post it. It's a cleaner look, that's all.
Okay. I got you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Councilman Brown.
I'm done. And I don't have any more questions. I'm done. Anybody else have any more comments or questions?
I just want to know if Jackie Harris is going to share that meal she's been preparing. Email me her address, and I'd be glad to come get some dinner. You're muted. You're muted, so we can't hear you.
Okay. Well,
thank you, Madam Chair.
If there are no further questions or no more comments, that was the only item on the agenda, then the meeting is adjourned.